Well, good day and welcome back to JRC Adventures. As you can see, we're back in the workshop, and this one is a little bit of an exciting episode. You see, we're actually working on the Hilux, not the 75. Now, there's a couple of YouTubers that I'm sure you all know, TJ and Macca. And they made a tub rack, an invisible tub rack for their rooftop tent to sit on. So today, we're gonna do that, but we're gonna give you a little bit more of an in-depth review. We may have a rooftop tent coming, but that'll probably be in future episodes. Now the steel, I just went to Bunnings. I think it costs like $150, $160. I have square, this here is 50 by 50. That'll be our pieces that get attached to the tub. I bought a bit of angle iron. We only need a little bit of this, but you could only buy it in, I think, lengths of 2 meter. That was pretty cheap, $17, I'm pretty sure. And then I've got two for our cross sections that we'll be welding up. This is a bit more of a flat bar, 2 mil thick, 50 by 20, I believe it is, just so our U-bolts for our rooftop tent can attach to this. So what we're gonna start by doing is cutting our 50 by 50 from 2 meters down to 1 meter, and then we're gonna work out where that goes in the tub.
We also cut the right angle brackets, which will attach the cross sections to the 50 by 50 tube on the tub. I then cleaned up all the ends, making sure they were smooth and no metal sticking out. It was then time to start drilling holes in the 50 by 50 section, starting with pilot holes on both sides. Everything always takes way longer than you first expect, but we managed to get it all done.
Okay, so these ones here, I just cut the pilot holes through. They are, let me move over here. They are the ones that's basically going to be going in right up against there. Now that we've got the pilot holes, I've got my hole saw, and I'm going to go through one side nice and big, because we need access obviously to put the bolts through. Well, after a fair bit of cutting, we've got these two posts done, and as you can see, they've got the holes in them, just gives us access. On the other side, we've got a pilot hole, which will drill out bigger depending on what bolts we're going to put in. But these are looking really good. Dad's in the tub there. He's measuring where these are going to go, and then we can start adding them in. Okay, so once again, to put in this bar into the tub, we're using our trusty nutsert. So we've just got a set King Chrome. What's this? The K4 900. I know a lot of crew love their King Chrome, and we've got these bolts. They're pretty big. These are 12s. So I think we're going to get a 9 drill bit, see if that works, and go to a 10. Put these nutserts in, and then we should have our first bar on.
We don't want the drill gripping and then forcing through and punch a high spot in the skin of the quarter panel. So a bit of tape around it.
So we're up to the nutserting. We've done nutserts 1,000 times on this channel, so we won't tell you how it all works, but we'll just tell you it works well.
They are good.
The hole below, they're just factory, so you don't worry about them.
Factory Toyota.
We've got both of them in now. The second one went in a heck of a lot quicker than the first one, but they're both in. They're looking really good, especially this one. We cut the tub liner to be really smick or really tight fit. The first one is a little bit loose, so but that's right, it's inside, you're not going to see it. So now we've got to use our brains, somehow work out how these angles, I don't know. We'll work it out though.
There's a few ways to work out your angles, but I'm a visual guy, so the best way for me is to mark your top and bottom measurements on the ground and then work it out from there. This way you can put the material against the tape and know it's correct. We used the grinder to remove a V section of the metal, which then allowed us to bend the metal into the angle we want. It might look daunting, but just give it a go.
Well, we're running out of time today, so we'll see you tomorrow.
A few moments later.
Righto. Well, we're back, and Dad got in a little bit early, and as you can tell by the helmet, we're nearly ready to weld. Let me show you the CIGWELD welder. So we've just got the CIGWELD out of the packaging This here, this is the CIGWELD Venom. This is the XFC190.
That's it.
The XFC190, and this is basically perfect for the home DIYers. This thing as well runs on 240 volt, and that's a huge plus. I've never had a welder at home. This is one, obviously at the moment we're in the workshop, but I'm gonna take it home for everything that I do there. This one, you can do 3 things with it. You can do your stick welding, you can do your MIG, and you can do your TIG. So there's a lot of potential with this welder. It's very small and compact. We've just got it sitting on a trolley that Dad had lying around.
And it also says you can use it gasless as well. Now, I've never had much success using gasless on a MIG, but happy to try it out and let you know how it goes.
Right now, we've got it all hooked up. We've got our earth on. We're going to be using the MIG welder. Basically, this thing, the beauty about it is you just set the thickness of the metal, and then it will basically automatically do the rest.
Yeah, you set your gas. So we're running argon shield, so it's got a setting on there for argon shield. There's a mixture of gases you can use for MIG welding, but argon shield gives a nice clean weld at the end of the day. Good protection around the weld, which is what the gas does.
Let's test it out. Dad's a bit fast and loose normally with the safety, but today he's got his long sleeve shirt on, and he's also going to be wearing a welding glove.
And a welding helmet too. How good's that?
Not the old squint.
Your thickness there, so it'll just up the amperage.
Oh yeah.
There we go, 2.5. See how that goes. Yeah, it's not too bad, isn't it? It's nice and flat, and there's not a lot of splatter there either, which is really good for cleanup. We'll give it a quick grind and sand her off, and hey, looks good. Okay, we've made our first rack. We've got the angles exactly the way we want them. Now we've just tacked up our second rack, and we're going to place this one on top of the second one and see how good we are. Let's give it a go.
Not too bad.
That is perfect.
It's actually not too bad, pretty easy. Have a look at these dumb bags. We have made huge progress.
First of all, we made our 2 rails which go down the side of your ute. So that's these 2 rails here. Next, we made the 2 crossbars. We've got the angles right. They go down to right angled sections which sit on the rails. So now what we've got to do is work out, position our rails or our crossbars exactly where we want them, as opposed to our rooftop tent, which is going on top. So we want the maximum support for our rooftop tent, but also they've got to look good, and they've got to have enough runoff for the water when the tonneau cover's on the car.
Well, we are done, so let me show you. I am super stoked with this. As you can see, we've got the tonneau cover back on, and you can't even see where our brackets are. You can see, you know, they're pushing on the tonneau a little bit, but it's good. The only negative is I've actually got a couple of holes of where my roll bar used to be, so maybe I'll have to look into getting a new tonneau cover, but a complete one. I'll undo the tonneau. It's still a little bit tight. Put down this tailgate, and under here is where the magic happens.
Quick little recap. What we've done, we've made a rack for the back of the Hilux, which is going to have a rooftop tent, or we might even put a roof rack on it. Something, you know, whatever we want, we can bolt onto the top there. How we did it. We've got 2 rails. We made them about 1.20 m, and then we have drilled big holes, nut-serted into the side of the ute. We've had to cut holes in the tub liner to get those in so they're nice and neat. But the good thing is it doesn't take away any of the tub space that you might use. Next thing, we bent up our roll bars. They're 50 by 20 steel. They're about 2 mil thick, and then we made angle iron to fit on top of the rails. So the hardest part was actually getting all the angles right, but once we got them right, welded up, give it a paint, bolt it all together. Now, why we built it like that is if we don't want our racks on, we can simply undo 4 bolts, we can take them off, put the tonneau cover back on, and we've got a full use of our ute again.
That's all we have time for in this episode. I was hoping we might be able to get the rooftop tent on, but you'll just have to wait until the next episode drops.
It has been a fun little episode. We've welded it all up. It's been pretty satisfying actually to see the end result, so can't wait till that rooftop tent goes on.
Perfect. Don't forget, if you like the video, give it a like, give it a comment. Don't forget to subscribe. We appreciate the support. We'll see you in the next one.
Next time.
Bye.